Hello, I'm Valerie McLennan. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. Sunday evening, I think it's the 15th of December, 2024. This is my spiritual channel and I incorporate ways of life, little stories and a little bit of banter, a little bit of humour along the way. Now, for the past couple of weeks, or even 3 weeks, I have introduced myself, and I remember because I was here, and I said, it's very, very calm, very, very peaceful. Not today. It is blowing a hoolie. It is very, very windy. Now, I left my home. I thought that was like a country western song. I don't know what happened there. I left my home. I did. I left my home earlier today, and I was just going for a walk. I was going for a walk. And my hair looked quite nice. I had washed it. And is this important? Yes, it is. I had brushed my fringe. Looked quite nice. My fringe was the way I like my fringe. And it was nice and smooth. And it was just nice. I returned home. Yes, keep in mind I said it was very, very windy. I returned home and I happened to glance in the mirror. I thought, what's happened? What has happened to your hair? You should drag through a hedge backwards is about the only sentence I can think of. Descriptive at this moment. Yes. My lovely fringe, which was nice and smooth, as I'd brushed it that way when I left, suddenly was full of curls and even ringlets. I think I'd reached the ringlet stage. I've not had ringlets since I was about 3-year-old. I had ringlets at that time. I did. And I looked and thought, how have I got ringlets and curls? Now, people would pay a fortune to have a nice head of curls and a nice head of ringlets. But it was on my fringe. I don't want ringlets on my fringe. I like my fringe, the way I put it. Anyway, I looked awful. Absolutely awful. You should have seen the state of my hair. Anyway, my point being, it was very, very windy today. I hope you've had better weather than this, honestly. So we've been very, very calm. We're very extreme, aren't we? Very, very extreme. Very, very calm. Very, very peaceful. Not a leaf moving for weeks. And all of a sudden, blowing a hoolie. Anyway, Scottish weather at its best. Hope you've had a nice day. 15th, I think I said, of December. Yes, it still is. Still is. And what was it? I was going to talk about something this evening. Are you? That's the idea of a podcast. I know. Oh, yes. At this time of life, what I normally do on a podcast is, if in the week previous I've noticed a common thread in conversations, people that I've been talking to over the last maybe week or two, sometimes I notice from person to person, the story's suddenly the same, and especially at this time of year. I know. And if I notice a common thread, I think I'll mention that in the podcast because it's impossible. It is only the people that I'm speaking to that must be having this experience. This must be kind of a wider, remit. So I think I'll mention it in my podcast. I did. So what I'm going to do this evening, or what I'm going to discuss this evening, is a situation that people seem to be talking about to me over the last couple of weeks. And I don't know if it's just tied into time of year and people rushing about. I don't know what it is. But the other point is, as I keep saying, is our intention. We've got to be very careful of our intention in life. That's a word. Carry that with you. It is your intention behind what you're doing that will get you good places or tie you in a knot. Right, I'll give you an example. If someone says something that hurts your feelings may be hurt, but the other person who has just hurt your feelings, it could be unintentionally hurt your feelings. Maybe there was something going on and they've said something, but the intention behind their words was maybe to kind of pull you up or maybe to do something, but the intention behind it was not to hurt you or hurt your feelings. Then there's the other people who might set out in their day deliberately with the intention of hurting your feelings. Now, those are two different things. We reap what we sow in life. If it is your intention to hurt someone's feelings, when you reap what you sow, that will really come back and it will be compounded because your intention was deliberate to hurt someone's feelings. If you're in the position where something happens and just in the line of it all, their feelings are hurt, that's a different level, right? So you see the two. So in spirituality, although we're on a spiritual path, each and every one of us will face challenges in life. This is what I keep saying. Just because you're on this path, it doesn't give you any, it's really just you're aware of everything more, and it's like an anchor, and it helps to get you through situations. It doesn't mean that you won't face the same as everyone else. Sadly, no, we will. And no, all it means is that we're all trying to get through life unscathed and get out the other side, hopefully not too emotionally battered and bruised. Thank you very much. Now, bringing me to my point of this podcast. People have mentioned over the last while, I could probably go back a few months, weeks, and then days, of people who have handed over they didn't put it this way to me, but this is my understanding. People that they know who have handed over their power to another human being. Give me an example, I will. We all know the expression when we say it tongue-in-cheek, oh, here, who's the boss in that house? That kind of thing. Or here, we know who the boss is in that relationship, workplace, colleague, wherever it is. There tends to be a dominant one. And you often hear people saying, oh, here, you can tell who's the boss in there. Now, what you find, or what I have found, now, I'm not talking about everyone in life. I'm talking about people that have spoken to me over the weeks, over the months, over the years. And that's all I can talk about because that's the experiences that I've had. Obviously, not everyone in life. If I refer to the people who are very, very aware they've handed their power over, they wouldn't put it that way. But they have kind of more or less given in to the partner because the partner's too strong, the partner's dominant emotionally. But what they tend to do, the other person, they won't put it like that. And they might say, oh, can't be bothered to do anything for an easy life. Can't be bothered with the aggravation. Can't be bothered with the thing. So what they do consciously is more or less say to the partner, get on with it. And they take the passenger role. Now, some of them, if you say it to them at the time, they'll say, oh, well, I don't care, I'm happy enough. If they're happy enough to do all that stuff, I don't care. Well, I'm not losing anything, no sleep, no lost sleep. Yeah, you are losing sleep. What happens there is, the minute you hand your power over to another human being, your emotions are depleted. Think of a battery that's full. Yours is probably heading for flat. Because we're all on earth and we're supposed to be using our own power, our inner power, and our personal growth to get us through life. If you in your mind are thinking, I'll take the easy road, I can't be bothered with conflict, I can't be bothered with aggravation, and I can't be bothered, and you've more or less given in to the other person, whether it's in the workplace or in your house, that is not healthy emotionally for you, because what happens is you'll find yourself getting weaker and weaker emotionally. Now, there are people in life, you have probably heard this as well, people talking about maybe people that they know, and they'll say, gosh, they're so different if you get them on their own, whether to when you get them with a partner being there. Because they've got so used to kind of playing a role, the one that's handed the power over. When they're on their own, they more or less subconsciously revert back into themselves. And so the people around them can see the way they used to be. And they're kind of a bit full of life, and they're a bit and they're little, because the other person, now, the minute the partner or the business person, whoever it is that they've handed the power over to, enters the room or enters the same wherever, the person subconsciously their battery goes from the top to zip, flat. And they don't have their voice, and they become a much weaker person, a weaker version of themselves. Now, I will be amazed if there's people listening to this who do not know someone in that position. They've not referred, they'll be thinking, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. A lot of people in life live this way, and it's a subconscious thing. Now, the reason I pointed it out is if you hand your power over to another human being, you're more or less the passenger in your own life. You're no longer directing your own life. You're no longer in control. And you might just go, oh, well, it's easy for me, don't want it, can't be bothered. You hear people say, can't be bothered with aggravation, can't be bothered arguing with them. So how much power do you think the other person has? If it's in the workplace, in your colleague, your house, wherever it is, can you see the amount of power? They've got double the power. They have their own power, and they also have your power. I hear grown adults, not children, grown adults, if they're asked a question, saying, I don't know, I'll need to check with the boss. Now, they say it tongue-in-cheek, and they do, but it's true. And if the partner, the boss, says no, they don't go. Can't go. No, the boss said no. Now, number one, no human being should hand their power over to another human being. And number two, the person, if they're accepting receiving the power, so if the bossy person, shall we say, if they're taking and accepting that role in life, they are in the wrong as well, because their intention is to use your power against you, because they can use the power then if it's in the workplace or wherever it is, the person that's making all your decisions about what you're allowed to do, where you're allowed to go, what you shall do, they've got all your power. Now, their intention is to use that power as their own, so they've got a double tank and you've got yours is to nil. You're in the wrong because you're allowing that to happen. You've handed it over. They're in the wrong because they've accepted it and they're using it to their advantage. So there's two intentions there. Your intention was, can't be bothered fighting it. You've handed it over to them. Their intention is, thank you very much, I'll have two. So not only can I do what I like for myself, I can also tell you what you're doing as well. So the two of you are in the wrong, and we're on planet Earth in spirituality, in my belief, we not judged, but what we reap, what we sow. And as I said at the beginning, it is what your intention is that ties you in a knot in the end. If your intention, the person that's got the power is very well aware they've got the power because they're making all the decisions. They're telling you how much rope you have. You can go there. No, you cannot go there. I don't like you going there. Where are you going? No, you will not. You'll stay here. No, you will not. I don't want you to do that. And notice how many times in those situations the person with the power will say, I. What do you mean? Well, no, I don't want you to go there. No, I don't think you should go there. No, I know, I will not allow that to happen. So it's all I. It's not we. It is no longer we. It is I. I with the power. So this could be a boss, this could be a colleague, could be a friend, could be your partner. Notice how many times once you've handed your power over, you're no longer a we in the conversation, you're an I. They're an I, they're making decisions for you, you have handed it over. So as I said at the beginning, it's your intention in the spiritual world that you have to be very, very much aware of. As I said, over the last while, I've heard people saying, when they are meeting people, could be this time of year, I don't know, when they're meeting people that they've known for a long, long time are like a shadow of themselves. When the person with the power is around, take that person out, get the one person on their own, the person who's handed their power over, they revert back into their old self. And they've got life, they've got energy in their words, they talk. Suddenly, the door opens, the other person comes in, and the energy drops, and they've no voice left. Now if you think that's a good place to be, continue as you are. All I'm saying is, in spirituality, at the end of the day, at the end of our last gasp, we're all responsible for the actions we've taken, and whatever. If you're the one with the power and you're making all the decisions, you need to be very, very careful. What you should really do, because you're aware of it, if you're in that position making all the choices for two, you weren't given that role in life, because the creator of the universe has given us all, each and every one of us, independent responsibility to take our own actions and our choices on earth. As a fellow human being, you shouldn't take that away from another human being. You're not greater than the creator. Creator has given us all personal responsibility for our own lives. You as a human being have no right to take over, even if someone hands it to you. You have no right to say, give me it, and I will let you know what you can do. I shall leave you with that thought. That was another part of my festive message. It has arisen in conversations over the weeks and the month. Now, please, if you see yourself in that, it's a spiritual message. We're going into a new year, and it's time you should maybe reflect and remember we are all responsible for our own choices in life. You should be living your life as you want to live your life. The Creator didn't put any restrictions on your life. We all have freedom of choice. So if somebody thinks they're bigger than the Creator of the universe and have your power, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say. Now look after each other, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.